Hi, welcome to this episode of Mind Universe. You can find yourself stuck in a loop of constantly wanting to get things right, or a loop where you feel so hesitant to a point that it becomes paralyzing and you're unable to do anything about it. You're stuck in place, trying over and over, but your attempts, they never pass the initial beginning. An example would be when you want to talk about a certain topic and you find yourself persisting on the first sentence that you want to say, or you find yourself constantly replaying in your head the same beginning over and over, and you're just stuck there. You don't pass through it until it dies out of you. By that time, you've exhausted yourself, even though you have not initiated and you've done nothing. You just burned yourself, and then when that energy was gone and you feel tired, you did nothing else beyond feeling tired. Now, such a state happens frequently, and I'm not sure how many people deal with it, but it's possible that you've been good at something, or you've acquired a certain skill or two, and afterwards you've taken a break, or you feel whatever the essence that was within you, you feel it gone, and you're wondering if it would ever come back again, and you don't know what to do about it. So you start doubting yourself, you start obsessing over how to get back to it again, and you continue being stuck there, like a car that went into the desert and the tires got stuck in quicksand, and the car continues to exhaust itself trying to get out of there. You step on the pedal, but you're burning fuel but not moving anywhere. Now, that example with the car being stuck in quicksand tells you that there is a correct way to get the car out of there. It's obvious. You get a wood panel or another car to tow it out, and the car can continue to move forward. To just sit there burning gas trying to get it out is foolish at best. So that's an obvious example. But how do you deal with yourself, with your exhaustion, with your quicksand that you're stuck in? Most of the time, you wouldn't even realize you're stuck, and a long time could pass by that you continue to sink deeper without realizing it. And by the time you try to wiggle yourself out of there, you simply can't, and you don't know what to do because the wiggling itself is not working, and you're not sure how to, hey, I want to get back on track, I want to do it again. You don't know how to do that. Do you ask for help? Well, it's not easy to ask for help in that case, because you're not sure what would the help do for you. One idea I have, but it doesn't work all the time, is being introduced to new environments, new people, new circle of people, to a new community. But that doesn't always come around. It's not easy to find in the first place. And even if it does, it doesn't always work out either. So you could find, or rather, let's say, you could stumble upon a new community, but then you don't feel the capacity to connect with them, or there's a barrier between both parties' ability to express and understand each other. Now that is a solution, but it doesn't work all the time. What is another solution then? Well, one thing that comes to mind is trying to enact what you used to do in the past, even if it is not at the same capacity. You know how they say, hey, they've lost their touch, or they're not as good as they used to be. Usually it's your own mind that says those things. It's your own mind that judges you, that doubts you, and that tells you, hey, you've lost it, haven't you? You're not as good as you used to be. Or maybe you were lucky, or maybe you had a chance and you let it slip by. Such harsh words, and the harshest of words can come from your own thoughts, your own mind. Now, it isn't easy to just ignore these thoughts that you have, these harsh criticisms. They are so solid, and they are a part of your reality because you think them and you believe them and you feel them. Rather, you're like the bully and the bullied, and you feel that bullying to your core. So even if someone, a good friend, would come along and tell you, hey, you're amazing, you're talented, you're great, you're still the same person from before. While those words are great, they're helpful, they're encouraging, they are overshadowed by your own negative words and your own negative thoughts. So how do you deal with that? How do you get back on track? Well, another method I have in mind, the reason I said another method, because the first method is being introduced to a community, to a new environment, but that's not something you can always provide for yourself. Sometimes you cannot find another community or a place that can allow you to be creative again. So another method is to keep trying as terribly as you would, and to shield yourself from the results that would come from that. Meaning, when you try again, it's not going to be as good as it used to be. The results will not be as satisfactory. In fact, they most likely will be under the average of what you used to do. So therefore, they will be disheartening, and they will be compared against a higher level, a higher skill. Meaning, oh my God, I say meaning a lot. So meaning, you used to be this good, but because you kind of lost it, you're not feeling it, you're not as good. So you will be comparing. You would be thinking, wow, maybe I've been so bad the whole time. Maybe I've always been this terrible. So the negative thoughts will flood in. So you need to shield yourself from whatever expectations you could have. So I just realized that when I'm expressing and using my hands, my arms get between me and the microphone. I guess this is part of the experience of just trying, even if the result isn't as good as it may be. See, I'm doing exactly what I'm saying. I'm practicing what I'm preaching. So I would say, shield yourself from those higher expectations. Don't aim to be just as good as you used to be, or even better than you used to be. There is no comparison. Remove that and just act. And whatever the results will be, cover yourself from them unless it's necessary. By that I mean, maybe you're doing it to perform to an audience. Now, maybe there is something that needs attention, then pay attention to it. But if you're doing it to express yourself, if you're doing it to practice the skill to reclaim it again, then judge yourself in a kinder light. Don't be so harsh on yourself. I'll remind you, you're human. And I know that sounds obvious, but you tend to judge yourself in a harsher way than you would judge a human being. And perhaps the reason behind that is because you know yourself best, and you expect more from yourself, and you are disappointed in who you are and how you've been lazy and on how insecure you feel. But that is all part of the human experience, and it's okay to not be the image of perfection. It's okay to stutter, to fumble, and to fall down, and to get back up and fall down again and get back up. It's okay to experience the highs and the lows, because that's how you have always been. That's how it has always been for a human being. And perhaps because we have social media, and because we're exposed to everyone else, and everyone else is exposed to us, and I'm not saying it in a bad way, I'm just saying in a creative way, or a private, personal way. No, just the creative side. You tend to always see the best that others are showing you, but it's rare to see the boring practice and the unattractive parts of them, the parts that are not so good, the parts that are human, and all the tiny parts that make up the process that they go through. And you only see the highlights, and even the parts that are not highlights that you see them because they allowed you to see them. Usually that's part of the reason someone would show you, to make you feel encouraged, to make you feel like, hey, I'm not alone, you're not alone in this, and to sometimes help you understand how to get from nothing to a finished masterpiece. So remember that it's okay to do something and to get a result that is mediocre. And the reason I say it's okay, because we are under the conclusion that you are trying your best. You are trying to get great results, and you feel inadequate because you are trying your best, but that has diminished in a way. And the reason I say it's okay to try and be mediocre and not be so good is because that helps you to practice, to develop, and to get yourself moving out of the quicksand that you are buried in. Because otherwise, what can you do? Give up? Sure, that is an option, but it is seldom an option that you want to do. It's harsh and it's difficult, and it is not encouraging. It's so rare to find encouragement that tells you, hey, keep going. Yes, you may not be as good as you hope to be. Yes, you may not feel as good as you wish to feel, but it's okay. Even if it has to be done over and over again, it's okay to keep practicing and to keep failing and to keep trying over and over until you see an inclination in your process, until you see that, you know what, I may have been plateauing for so long, but I'm finally seeing myself getting better, getting higher, getting to a place that is improved compared to where I used to be for a long time. You have to keep trying. You have to keep believing in yourself, even if it's so difficult to believe in yourself, especially when it's difficult to believe in yourself. I believe in you. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.